As we gear up for one of the most anticipated shows of 2021, it's always a good time looking back at the adventures of Deku and all of the provisionally licensed heroes, except for Bakugo and Todoroki, from Hero Class 1A. That's why we're here to bring you the top 10 things to remember before My Hero Academia Season 5 kicks into full gear. Comment below if you're as pumped as we are, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. Number 1. What did Deku see in his dream? The 4th season finale of My Hero Academia left the fans with perhaps the biggest cliffhanger in the history of the show, where young Midoriya had one of the weirdest dreams he had ever experienced before. In the dream, we clearly see All Might's former teacher, the 7th user of One For All, Nana Shimura, in front of 7 other characters. It's pretty safe to assume these are the other heroes who inherited the power of One For All at some point in time. But if you look closely, while the first 4 of 5 people's faces can be seen clearly, the last 2 only have their silhouettes shown. We already know that Deku is the 9th person to inherit One For All, as the man with white hair looked up and called Deku the 9th. But this fact and the dream that he experienced is something that All Might seems to have no clue about. Looking back at Deku's fight with Shinso in Season 2, All Might thought it was scary when Midoriya told him about his vision of figures that activated his powers. We can clearly see something changing in Deku's powers, as he had unconsciously awoken from this dream or vision, realizing he had broken the window of his own room. It looks like we'll be taking a big step in the story, and hopefully learning more about the history behind One For All this season. Number 2. All Might's death and a new number 1. Endeavor stepped up as the new number 1 hero, but with such a fiery personality, people struggle to pin their hopes on him in the same way. Endeavor managed to start to redeem himself in his battle against High End last season. He fought hard, almost dying in the process, but the battle felt like the culmination of his growth throughout the season. And he finally received the recognition, not just of the nation, but of his son Shoto too. In Season 4, All Might confessed to Midoriya that he's going to die soon, according to Night Eye's foresight. We've already seen how bad things can get with him missing since Season 3, but will these be compounded if and when he actually dies? The people's acceptance of Endeavor might have come just in time. Hopefully with him as the number 1 hero, the world won't descend into complete chaos in All Might's absence. Number 3. What's the deal with Dabi and Endeavor? Episode 89 acted as a recap episode without any meaningful contribution to the story forward. But the post-credit scene was definitely worth staying along for, as we saw Dabi coming out of the flames to confront an injured Endeavor and Hawks. With a damaged Endeavor, it's safe to assume there was no fight between the two parties, but it's interesting to see how Dabi keeps popping up when Endeavor's around. In particular, in the movie My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, we saw Dabi coming across Endeavor and thanking him for coming out to fight. On one hand, it could be Dabi wanting to prove his fire powers are a level above, but maybe it has to do with his burning scars like Todoroki. There are too many interesting guesses for where Dabi's history lies, and we can't wait to find out. Number 4. The loss of faith in heroes. While we got to see Endeavor bring his plus ultra spirit to take down High End in Season 4's ending, it's clear that not everyone believes in the power of heroes. With so much villain activity in the hero world, Endeavor being left hospitalized, and the power of just one special no-move having been made clear to everyone, the League of Villains has never been more confident. All Might was the world's main barrier against evil and chaos, and with him gone, it seems world peace might be on its way out too. The golden age of All Might's heroism is over, and we're keen to see the effects of his absence in Season 5. Number 5. How will the League cope with the loss of Kurogiri? It's clear that the League will be back in action after they dealt with Overhaul last season, but their threat level definitely doesn't feel the same without the aid of their Warp Gate, Kurogiri, since he was captured by Gran Torino. Throughout the show, we have watched Kurogiri being a vital part of the League, acting as the initiator for every plan they had with his Warp Gate quirk. But we never saw his face without the quirk activated, and if you look closely, High End from last season seems to have some weird resemblance to Kurogiri. Who knows if that's just a fluke? But really, who or what is Kurogiri? Number 6. Gigantomachia. We're sure you remember Gran Torino running for his life in the 15th episode of Season 4, barely escaping after a new villain, Gigantomachia, came onto the scene. It was revealed that this massive beast was raised by All For One, and that the members of the League of Villains were told to ask for his help in case he'd ever be caught. Gigantomachia was as big as a mountain itself, and Gran Torino himself worried that even All Might in his peak might have had trouble fighting him. With this terrifying villain being brought up for a brief moment and then disappearing from the show, it's likely that'll have a big part to play in the upcoming season. Maybe he'll be the one to break out the big bad prison inmate. Number 7. 100% One for All. Throughout this whole anime, we've been rooting for Deku to finally gain enough control of his quirk to use it at full power, to no avail. In Season 4's Crunchyroll award-winning best fight scene, we finally get to see the moment we'd all been waiting for. Deku unleashed the full force of One for All without breaking a single bone, or rather, the bones that broke were immediately healed by Eri's quirk. It turns out, Rewind was pretty helpful in balancing out Deku's lack of control over One for All. Since Eri can't currently control her quirk, and with how dangerous it can be, this revelation can't be put to much use for now. But Season 4 ended with Eri starting a new, happier life with our UA heroes, so we're wondering if Rewind will come into play during Season 5. Speaking of Eri, at number 8, Eri's powers and the quirk erasing bullets. As we can't forget the adorable Eri, it's important to look back at how the beginning of Season 4 really pulled on our heartstrings as Deku and Mirio fought to save Eri from the abuse of Chisaki. As we learned that Eri's quirk, Rewind, allowed her to reverse any living being's body back to a previous state. We also found out that Overhaul was using her to create a powerful drug to either destroy or return someone's quirk. While he was successful, Tomura Shigaraki now holds the only quirk erasing bullets after taking them from Chisaki. And that could either spell the end for a few of our heroes, or maybe many more if they can somehow manufacture the drug. Speaking of erasing quirks, let's go to number 9. Mirio's quirk is gone. For now? Alongside the aftermath of the Shie Hasaikai battle, the heroic Mirio lost his quirk after being hit by one of Chisaki's quirk-erasing bullets. Though quirk restoration seems unlikely at this point, Mirio stays true to the positive character we've come to love, staying hopeful for a brighter future. There's something blissfully enlightening about the way he acts, and we hope to see a world where he has his quirk back someday soon. Number 10. Hitoshi Shinso joining the fight? We previously saw Shinso in the Sports Festival arc, where he revealed how his quirk wasn't fit for fighting, and he wanted to prove to everyone that he could be a hero too. It looks like his time has come, as seen through the Season 5 trailer, where we saw him in a similar costume to our favorite teacher, Eraserhead, even seemingly using the same binding cloth as him. It looks like Shinso is taking a page out of Aizawa's book, and figured out how to creatively use his quirk, despite it not being the most powerful for hand-to-hand combat. Or so we think. This is the kind of character development that My Hero Academia does best, and we can't wait to see how much he and his classmates have grown. There are so many things to look forward to for this upcoming season, and we absolutely can't wait to give you our episode breakdowns every Saturday as fast as possible after the episode airs. Looking forward to giving you My Hero Academia weekly breakdowns and other anime content coming up real soon. Until then, feel free to check out our past episodes. See you at the episode breakdown.